as I acknowledged with the previous video concerning our introduction to Mesmerized, I went a bit out of order from what I typically do, in that generally if I'm going to do an album survey, or whether it be full or a selection of works, I start on the origin. Probably what most people typically do when they listen to an artist first on discovery status. And that was my original intention with Mesmerized, to begin with Rage, but I decided in honor of what brought me into a discovery of their work, and I wouldn't have found out about them if it hadn't been for this, right? Utilized the track that was the connective tissue, represented that via GG6, Cyanide. That's what brought me in. Amram's former unclean vocalist, who I've really loved listening to for the last couple of months and being introduced to in a survey of Amram as well, mutually in greater depth. But in honor of that collaborative journey, with Associated standing to another artist, now we're going to do someone solo. But I'm really curious after that first initiation work, beautifully delivered. I would say, I think they've been categorized as a modern metal group, I think. I could be wrong on that. I would definitively say modern, power, and electronic metal influences. Very reminiscent of Amaranth, but I can already see an individuality forming. First group to the channel and part of Hungarian origin. That's pretty cool. Though, not a surprise. Again, I cover Europe robustly in their metal market, and there's reason for that. Whether it be on well-known names, and there's plenty, or establishing it. There's a real charm to that. I've said it multiple times of numerous artists, even beyond the Europe borders. But first debut, I thought was a great initiation experience. A real fun metal throttle number, fun aggression, good energy to it, beautiful vocal delivery as well, great narratives, and of course GG6 being an absolute charm point. Who can't get enough of him? Again, if you've never witnessed him, I highly recommend Amaranth, in particular with GG6's vocals. I love the guy. But now where we currently sit with Mesmerized, we're going to evolve from here to an individualized standing with respect to Mesmerized. So what are we going to witness here with a number? I suspect with a name like Rage, we're going to get an aggressive metal song. But, as I've said before, is there going to be a widening of a field? Or is it going to be an established aggressive metal route? We're going to discover together in broad strokes. And maybe not all the tracks we have will demonstrate that, at least for what I've picked out. Again, 6 of the 12 works on the album. But this should give us a good feel to judging the group and their evolution going forward, which I think that they have something in the works as of later this year. I thought I read that somewhere. I could be wrong on that. Not confirmed. Just offering again what I think I noticed. Anywho, our second opportunity to engage with Mesmerized together, whether we happen to be knowledgeable listeners, and now I in fact am based on One Piece, or still, relatively speaking, I'm in the space of being familiarized and initiate. Maybe some of you have a deeper understanding of this group. You've heard them for far longer than I have. I'm assuming many of us still come with initiate standing, right? Music is better to enjoy in company, however we approach it, right? Familiarized or unfamiliarized listening, especially in us engaging in new work together. I think there's a real charm to that, and I welcome anybody, by the way. I hope that there's a number of us who approach from different vantage points with Mesmerized. But we're willing to experience good music, and I think they qualify on a first impression. Let's broaden out from our initiation. Here we go. Still that electronic route. I like the snare patterns. It's so heavy. My favorite. I love the mixture of key. Mixture of key choice, not a bad move. Let's see where we evolve. Or return. A lot of rhyming on the lyrics. It's a good flow here. Again, even tracking. Helps that cohesion, but that, man, I'm loving that. The foundation of the instrumental, I mean, it's very Amaranth, but it's great. So I'm very familiarized with Amaranth making these sudden key departures and then reversions back to the original. It's like I said, individuality forming. The ferocity and the rapidity on those synths. That's just... That's... That's great. There's a beauty in how long those tones linger. It's just not what I expected at all. It's great. Even within so many connective bands on sound influence, you start to see these individualist traits form, and they're incredible when you witness them and again start to differentiate in your mind signature styles. It really feels like an Amaranth flute. That last effect was great. You know, I said it might be very reminiscent of Amaranth, but it's its own thing. That's wonderful of a work. I love it. Aggressive root, that seems to be a key dominance trait with respect to Mesmerized. Again, I don't know for sure, but we have 4 more works to go, at least in what I've determined. But a fun ferocity, but the subtle breakpoints on that one, that bridge on the instrumental, I don't know what to call those synths in particular, but the way that they linger and sit, that is not something Amaranth does. Any groups I've humored on the electronic grounds, I don't think have played with that type of effect combination. The opening, yes. That rapidity it's similar. In fact, the particular key chosen, I mean, again, like I said though, even with comparable groups, you start to see these individualist traits when you really study a work. And here, that swift key deviation to, I'm not sure, it sits more like a, I'm trying to get a particular arpeggio and it's escaping me at the moment, but it's a key I've heard in past appearances on a routine basis. In fact, why Amaranth comes to mind. It's one I've frequently seen appear there, and yet that switch leading into the chorus, it's a different transition than I'm normally used to. And that might be intently meant. I don't know. Again, I don't want to speak for anybody on intention here when I'm operating void of it. But I have to wonder if that is partly meant to differentiate the work again in an originalist voice. You've got that. I mean, that bridge is proof enough, but the intricacies of the electronics and synths applied here are very interesting. Even if, again, the core of it strongly compares to other numbers and demonstrates an adeptness within the electronic metal market. It's fabulous, though. As a number, it's aggressive. It's just a fun experience. What I love humoring in metal, and again, I keep a broad door open to any particular style. Even outside of metal, I've covered deviations of other artists and particular genre focuses, but this is really sitting in well with me. I'm liking it. And again, I did not start out as the biggest I want to say EDM, that's more reductionist I want to go for. Electronic music, I've never been a fan, broadly speaking, of it in specific isolation. It has to be married to a melodic root. And what I found with metal and electronic blending to whatever type of dominance, I've heard a varying spectrum of expressions. I got really charmed into Amaranth for a while, again, because of the synths. I still am. I say for a while like I left. I haven't yet. Not at all. Mesmerized? Good comparable. I see similar aptitudes with independent strengths and voice applied to particular choices that are native to their expression that I've not only not seen of Amaranth yet, but other electronic groups. It's fun though. I like it. I'm still really enjoying the lighter-hearted vocals. There's a lot of rhyming too. I've not seen such a strict definition on chorus constructions, but it's fascinating to me. There's actually, when you peruse, I'm looking at the lyric notebook from the physical copy. As I mentioned with the earlier video, I bought I didn't see anything in preparation with digital markets that you could purchase it online, at least not in America. Maybe in Europe and other countries, I don't know for sure. They are available though physically. I didn't notice that there was actually a storefront when I went to buy the original album or anything from it and try to find if I could even access it. I only found one copy on eBay, thinking I was probably the only one in the world besides that person. Like, okay, I got one. I don't know, probably not, but they actually do have a storefront. That's where you can get most of these tracks if they're not accessible via iTunes or some other form. It said on the page they were, so I'm kind of confused on that front. But if I'm just reading over the booklet, actually a lot of their lyrics on chorus sections, or at least from what I can guess, it's either similar structuring or a lot of rhyming. It's curious. I don't oftentimes see that employed, but it's interesting. Again, you try and study those types of signature deviations from other groups if there is a similarity, and I'm seeing a lot with this group that is quite charming. On progression, I think there's a career ahead of them, and I cannot wait to witness more with you. Again, 4 tracks lined up from where we sit currently, but I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are standing right now with Mesmerized, 2 entries in, with regards to Cyanide, now Rage. What are your thoughts on this song, and where do you approach, right? Longtime fan, fresh impression. I'd love to hear about it down below. I think it's a great metal number. The ferocity and the aggression on it instantly appeal to me. Good vocal balance, beautiful sim choices with an independence on that voice strictly. Structuring, again, those... I'll have to see if they do this more again, but that specific key change in the switch, pleasantly disorienting and a welcoming change because it does provide an individualist voice. I like that idea. Good initiative. We'll develop from here next, I believe, with, one of their, I think, preliminary works, if I remember right. I believe Desire was one of their significant tracks of recognition. I might have that wrong. I'm trying to look on a quick reference. I don't know for sure. Either way, Desire is next. Broadly speaking, I can't wait to hear more. Mesmerized is a really charming new metal group to me, and I think for a lot of us are going to prove to be that, broadly speaking. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.